Have you ever wondered what's really going through her mind when she sees you pulling away? The truth is, every move you make after no contact speaks volumes. One wrong step could change everything. Stay tuned, because in this video, we're diving deep into the biggest mistakes men make during no contact and exactly what you should be doing instead to make her regret ever letting you go. Don't miss a second of this. It could change everything. Section 1. Unexpected texts or calls. When your ex suddenly reaches out after a period of no contact, it's anything but random. These messages are often cloaked in casual phrasing like, "Hey, how's it going?" or "I just saw something that reminded me of you." They are carefully crafted probes. They're not just testing the waters, they signal regret, curiosity, and an underlying longing for connection. The timing of these messages can also be revealing. Late-night texts, messages on significant dates like your birthday, or even during holidays are key indicators that they've been reflecting on what they lost. This behavior stems from their need to re-establish some form of control or connection. They're grappling with unanswered questions. Have you moved on? Do you still think about me? These messages might seem harmless on the surface, but they carry emotional weight. Your reaction matters here. Responding too quickly or emotionally can give them the upper hand, making you appear eager or still invested. Instead, maintain your composure. Take your time to reply, if at all. Your calm and measured response will make them realize they can't easily re-enter your life on their terms. This approach keeps the power dynamic in your favor and reinforces your independence. Section 2. They bring up old memories. When your ex starts reminiscing about shared experiences, it's a clear sign that they're feeling nostalgic and possibly regretful. These moments from the past aren't mentioned casually. They are deliberate choices meant to rekindle a bond. Whether it's a shared vacation, a funny inside joke, or even a mundane memory like a visit to a restaurant, they're using these as tools to reconnect emotionally. Bringing up old memories serves a dual purpose. First, it reminds you of the good times, subtly nudging you to reconsider the relationship. Second, it's their way of expressing vulnerability without directly saying, "I miss you." They're hoping to evoke a response that indicates you share the same sentiments. However, this is where you need to tread carefully. While it's tempting to dive into nostalgia, doing so too quickly can send the wrong signal. Instead, acknowledge the memory lightly and move on. This approach keeps you grounded and prevents you from falling back into old patterns. Let them work harder to rebuild the connection. They need to prove they're serious about what they feel. Section 3. Their social media activity. In today's world, social media often acts as a window into people's true feelings. If your ex begins liking your posts more frequently, watching every story you post, or leaving comments, it's a clear indicator they're still thinking about you. This isn't just casual browsing, it's deliberate. They're using social media as a way to maintain a connection while avoiding direct communication. Beyond interacting with your content, they may start posting things designed to catch your attention. Cryptic quotes, photos from places you visited together, or updates that seem oddly personal are all strategies to make you notice them. It's their way of staying in your orbit without making themselves vulnerable. But here's the thing, their social media behavior isn't about you, it's about them. They're struggling with their emotions and seeking validation. The best way to respond? Continue living your life authentically and confidently. Post updates that show your growth and happiness, but do it for yourself, not for their reaction. This will reinforce their regret and show them that you're thriving without their presence. Section 4. They ask about you through mutual friends. When your ex begins asking mutual friends about you, it's a major sign they're not over the breakup. These questions often come disguised as casual curiosity. How's your name doing? Or have they been seeing anyone? But their true intent goes much deeper. They're fishing for information, hoping to find out if you've moved on or if there's still a chance to reconnect. Mutual friends become their lifeline to your world, allowing them to stay informed without risking rejection by contacting you directly. This behavior reveals their lingering interest and possibly even regret. They might even try to paint themselves in a favorable light during these conversations, hoping that their words will make their way back to you. The key here is to stay grounded. Don't let the knowledge that they're asking about you inflate your ego or distract you from your own path. Stay focused on your journey of personal growth. Section 5. They try to make you jealous. When your ex starts flaunting their new life, posting pictures with someone new, showing off their social activities, or sharing updates about how amazing everything is, it's often less about their happiness and more about you. These actions are designed to provoke a reaction, to make you question if they've moved on faster than you, and to test if they still have an emotional hold on you. This behavior typically stems from insecurity. They want to feel like they're still relevant to you, even if they're not ready to admit it outright. But here's the secret. Their attempts to make you jealous reveal more about their regret and longing than anything else. The best response? Indifference. By not engaging or reacting to their provocations, you maintain your composure and show them that their actions don't affect you. Post updates that reflect your happiness and confidence, but do it for yourself, not for them. Over time, your indifference will make them realize they've lost the upper hand, forcing them to confront their own emotions and regrets. Section 6. They ask for closure. When an ex suddenly requests closure, it's rarely a neutral act. More often than not, it's a calculated move to re-enter your life. Closure may sound mature and final, but it's usually a thinly veiled excuse to revisit emotions and unfinished business. They might start with phrases like, "I just need some clarity," or "I think it would help both of us to talk." These conversations often arise when they've had enough time apart to reflect, feel the sting of loss, and start to second-guess their decisions. Closure is a term that provides them with a safe way to reconnect without looking desperate. They frame it as needing peace, but what they truly want is a reaction from you. Their questions or comments during these talks might start with neutral tones, but quickly steer toward rekindling emotional intimacy. For example, "Do you ever miss what we had?" Or, "I can't help but wonder if things could have been different." How you handle these situations can either empower you or bring you back into old emotional cycles. It's critical to maintain your boundaries. While it's fine to listen, remember that you don't owe them closure at the expense of your progress. If you do choose to engage, keep the conversation focused on moving forward, not revisiting the past. A short, composed acknowledgement of their feelings can show emotional maturity while maintaining your strength and independence. When they realize you're not falling back into old patterns, it deepens their awareness of what they lost and leaves a lasting impression. Section 7. They suddenly show interest in your hobbies. It's no coincidence when your ex suddenly becomes fascinated with the things that matter to you. Whether it's them asking about your recent fitness goals, commenting on your love for a certain author, or casually mentioning that they're getting into one of your favorite activities, this behavior is deliberate. It's their way of trying to find relevance in your life again. This change often signals that they're reminiscing about the relationship and realizing they took certain things about you for granted. By mirroring your interests, they're attempting to bridge the emotional gap that no contact created. For instance, they might start following a band you both loved, join a gym because they remember how much fitness mattered to you, or even post about things they know you're passionate about, hoping you'll notice. But here's the thing. These actions often come from a place of regret. They're realizing that their indifference toward your passions during the relationship was a mistake. Their renewed interest is an effort to show they care, perhaps hoping to rekindle the connection that once brought you together. Your response to this matters. Engage with your passions for yourself, not as a reaction to their newfound interest. By continuing to thrive in your authenticity, you reinforce your value and make it clear that your happiness isn't contingent on their approval or involvement. Over time, this will either inspire them to genuinely change or make them fully grasp what they've lost. Section 8. They overcompensate on social media. If your ex's social media activity suddenly spikes, it's rarely just a coincidence. They might start posting photos of fun outings, writing captions that imply they're living their best life, or even sharing cryptic quotes about growth and resilience. At first glance, this may seem like they've moved on, but in reality, it's often a performance designed for an audience, especially you. This behavior is typically driven by a desire for validation. They want to make it appear as though they're thriving without you, all while hoping to catch your attention and provoke a reaction. What they don't realize is that this overcompensation is often a sign of their inner turmoil and regret. Deep down, they're still grappling with their emotions and the decision to end the relationship. Your response? Don't engage in their performance. Instead, continue posting authentically about your life, showing that you're growing, thriving, and happy without them. This will demonstrate that your happiness isn't dependent on their validation, and over time, they'll realize that their attempts to provoke you are futile. Your strength and independence will become undeniable. Audience response. If you look closely, you'll notice patterns in their posts. These may highlight things they know will catch your attention, such as a new relationship, a makeover, or a hobby they remember you cared about. Some of their captions might even seem targeted, with phrases like, "Some things are better left unsaid," or "Life's too short to regret anything." These subtle messages are designed to stir your emotions. This overcompensation often stems from insecurity. They're grappling with the fact that you might truly be moving on, and they're desperate to appear as though they're thriving. However, their need for validation reveals more about their lingering attachment than anything else. Your best response: don't engage or fall into the trap of reacting emotionally. Instead, focus on living authentically. Let your posts, if any, reflect genuine progress and joy, not as an effort to impress or provoke them. The more you stay centered in your own growth, the more their facade will crumble, leaving them to confront their feelings of regret and inadequacy. Section 9. They appear in places you frequent. When you start noticing your ex in places they wouldn't normally go, don't chalk it up to chance. Whether it's running into them at your favorite cafe, gym, or park, these encounters are often planned. They know your routine well enough to position themselves where you'll see them, creating an opportunity to reconnect without explicitly reaching out. This tactic serves multiple purposes. First, it allows them to gauge your reaction. Are you surprised, indifferent, or happy to see them? Second, it's a way to stay visible in your life, reminding you of their presence. Lastly, they're testing the waters, hoping that these coincidences will spark a conversation or rekindle old feelings. But here's where you hold the power. How you respond sets the tone. A polite nod or a brief hello is sufficient. Don't linger or engage in lengthy conversation. Your composed and self-assured demeanor will signal that you've moved on, even if they haven't. This confidence often leaves them questioning their decision to let you go, amplifying their sense of loss and regret. By maintaining your boundaries and focusing on your own path, You show them that you're not waiting for their validation or approval. This leaves them with no choice but to reflect on their actions and the consequences of their decisions. Section 10. They confess their feelings indirectly. Indirect confessions are a hallmark of an ex who regrets their choices but doesn't know how to admit it. They might send you a cryptic message like, "I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you," or casually drop hints about how much they miss the good times you shared. These comments often come wrapped in vagueness, leaving you to interpret their true meaning. This strategy serves as a safety net for them. By being indirect, they can test your reaction without fully exposing their vulnerability. If you respond positively, they feel encouraged to push the conversation further. If you don't, they can retreat without feeling completely rejected. However, their inability to directly express regret speaks volumes. It shows that they're still grappling with fear and uncertainty about where they stand with you. This hesitation often stems from their awareness of their mistakes and the possibility that you've truly moved on. Your response here should be thoughtful but firm. Don't rush to decode their cryptic messages or make assumptions about their intentions. Instead, let them know that clear communication is the only path forward. If they're serious about rebuilding trust or expressing regret, they'll need to be honest and direct. This approach protects your boundaries while forcing them to confront their feelings head-on. Closing. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss future content. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.